Hey YouTube, as of filming this video on Sunday nights, I'm at 2853 after getting to early 2900s multiple times, like 5 or 6 times I hit 29 something, and I keep falling back down. And I'm going to go over all the reasons why I have not hit legend yet. Some of you will relate to some of these just my own experiences this season. The team, Morpeko, Azumarill, Drifblim, double weak to electric in the back, but Morpeko weak to ground. I really wanted to cover that ground weakness, so I did that with a flyer and fairy, and same thing with the fighting. So I'm mostly covering the fighter and the ground with the Azumarill and Drifblim. I basically stand with most things except for those, and then I get out of those. Let's play it. I'll highlight anything that's important here in matchups, but otherwise I'm just going to talk about this because I have hit legend. I didn't hit the first 2 seasons, and then I hit 16 straight, and then I didn't hit one, and then I've hit the last 2 again, and this one's looking like I'm not going to hit again. And again, let me just start by saying I don't care. So the first thing is me not hitting legend has to do a lot with my point in the game and how I feel about legend. I used to hit legend almost out of, I'm going to call it my type A OCD personality, essentially. Like, I needed to hit legend because it was just like a thing that I did every season, so I needed to keep it consistent. I just needed to I just need to fill that fill in the void isn't the right thing to say, but I need to check the box to check my OCD, like, oh yeah, mission accomplished there. Okay, so I missed that one season, and then once I missed, I kind of took a step back. With this game, I've taken a lot of steps back and being losing the FOMO. It's a FOMO essentially. Like, oh, I got a fear of missing out. Missing out on what is the question? What are you missing out on if you don't hit legend? A pose. The pose is not great this season. A Pika Libre. I've got 19 or so already. Anything that matter? Do you get anything? You get a couple hundred. You get maybe 50,000 extra dust. Okay. You get an extra elite TM. I've got 32 elite and charge TMs that I have not used and I have not bought either. I just have them from different events and hitting legends every other season. So what am I actually missing by not hitting legend? And the answer is not much. So if you get in that mindset of okay, what's the real reason I'm hitting legend? What am I trying to accomplish this season? Hit legend. And if you can't actually define a good reason to hit legend outside of I should do it, it's the goal that I'm striving for, okay, that's a good reason, I guess, enough. But for me, it wasn't. For me, I just did not feel like I needed to hit legend this season. And it wasn't even because it was even 3 weeks ago, I was like, oh, I guess I should start making a push. And if I hit it, great. If I don't, I don't. I wasn't even oh, there's 3 or 4 weeks left in the season, I need to hit it. It's just okay, I'll go. If I hit it, great. If I don't, it's fine. So I'm definitely out of the mindset of I need to hit legend every season. Even though I put out 2 videos a day, to say I am a part-time Pokemon Go player is an overstatement. I am sometimes there's 5 or 6 days in the previous season, this season, that I opened the game, caught a Pokemon, spun a Pokestop, and closed the game. And that's all I played, 6 days straight. And again, it's a mixture of the game is stale, GBL is stale, the game is stale. I got 2 kids. I've been freaking shoveling them. We've had the most snow in freaking 20 years here in Ottawa. So that work is busy, life is busy. So it's just the game is beyond low on my priority list. So when it comes to a broken game that Niantic does not care about, I don't care about it. Okay. Outside of those excuses, I think there's a couple reasons why I have not hit legend 2 seasons of the last 4. And you know what? Maybe I will hit legend this season, but I doubt it because I'm, like I said in my video this morning, I am going to bank a set today and save all my sets tomorrow so I can do Beyond the Hype for Wednesday because the YouTube channel is more important than hitting legend, right? What's the value of hitting legend? For me, nothing. What's the value of getting 2 videos out Wednesday morning? Views, subscribers, revenue, like clear payoff there. So, yes, unless I hit it in 4 sets today, I'm not hitting it. Okay. A couple things have happened. I'm going to say there are 3 huge things that I have noticed this season. One, my fault, sort of. Yeah, one my fault, one the game's fault, and the other one I don't even know how to define it. Okay, number 1. I have not, as a part-time, you get better with something the more you do it. The more you practice it, the more hours you put into it. So these top players who are playing competitively around the world, who always hit legend every season, who are on the leaderboard every season, they're the best of the best because they put the time and effort in to become the best. They are playing pretty much all their sets. They are putting in the time to study. They're putting in the time to understand all the different matchups and stuff like that. Again, as a part-time, beyond like not even part-time player, I'm putting in real no effort to get better. I have coasted on the fact that I've played this game for 21 seasons now, and I've analyzed the game a lot because of the channel, that I thought I could just get by, just keep on doing that. The problem is, as many of you have noticed, it is getting harder and harder and harder to hit legend every season. And the reason for that is the player base is disappearing. When GBL first started, like I said, there used to be 70% of the player base who used to play GBL. You're lucky if there is maybe 5% of the player base that plays GBL right now. And the problem is those 5% are, at this point, the dedicated crew. The 5% that are playing are not there may be some casuals that are playing just like open up the game, hitting ace and stuff like that, playing when they're free. But for the most part, it's probably the 5% are people who are trying to hit legend and are putting in the time and effort to hit legend, right? So the player base has gotten smaller and the remaining players are just better. So when you're just not putting in the effort to get better and you're just kind of stagnant and everyone else in the player base is just like slowly getting better / passing you, and there's no like free wins against like some people who don't know what they're doing, it's just harder to hit legend. So yeah, one is sort of my fault that the player base is better. I mean, it's not my fault the player base is better. It's Niantic's fault for making this game just so bad that 95% of the Pokemon Go player base just does not care about GBL. But it's my fault for not like putting in any real effort to try and get better. And again, this game, I made that decision consciously, maybe even not consciously. Like, it's just the way my life is going. Like, this game is nowhere near a priority for me, nor should it be, honestly. So that's one reason I didn't hit legend. The other reason I didn't hit legend, and this affects everyone, so I can't even blame it on me, on like, oh, this has screwed me over more than not. The bugs in this game, in particular the one turn lag, I have found that I have lost 30 games minimum because of the one turn lag, where one turn lag cost me getting a fast move through, getting a charge move off, or having my opponent double up on charge moves when I should have got one off too. I've lost 30 games like that. And the problem with GBL, the way that the ELO system works is, like, you need 5 O's and 4 1s. 3 2s and less is not good enough. 3-2, you're going to go up by 7 points. Like, not good enough. And then if 1-4 or 0-5, you're down 50 to 80 points. And that's the problem. That's why you need the 4 1s. You need to be able to go up 40 to 70 points at a time. And when you're running with the team and you're just getting this lag that costs you a game here and costs you a game there, suddenly that 4-1 where you should have got 40 points becomes a 3-2 where you get 8 points. Or that 2-3 that would have only cost you 8 points becomes a 1-4 that now loses you 30 to 40 points. And that is tougher to get back, especially with going back to point 1 if the competition is just harder. So losing so many games because of the the state of the game just makes it just that much less motivating to play the game and try and get better at it and try and advance. And I felt like I've lost way more than not, which leads me to number 3. And I can't quantify this, and I'm going to sound like a freaking sore loser whiner here. I don't want to just say I got algorithmed, because I don't truly think that like Niantic reads your teams and sets you up with hard counters. I don't believe that. But man, I have more often than not on this 2940 run down, it was like I go 5-0. And then I went like 8-2, or even like 13-2, run up to 29, and then kind of like the other team. Sorry, let's just start with that. This team on stream, evenish leads. You saw I had like 15 Drapion mirror matches, and my skill, I was playing fantastic that day with like a bunch of mirror matches in what are generally sort of even distribution matchups that I said. I killed that day and I got to 2900. The next day, 4 to 6 ground leads in a row, straight grounds. So I switched the team to Drifblim and I got straight ice. So then I got down to 2850, tried a bunch of teams, tried this team again. Same thing. I had some like neutral to good leads, won those matchups, got to 2915, 2920. Annihilate leads, Gastrodon leads, Marowak leads, a Wiggly double ground team. I used maybe not this team. I think I had changed it to like Corsola and something. But it was like Morpeko lead. It doesn't even matter what the backline lead was. It was Wigglytuff, Marowak, and Diggersby team. And it's just like, where do I go from here? I got no win con here. And it honestly, I mentioned it that in baseball, someone corrected me. I said it was the pitcher. But in baseball, they have like what your average is, and then they have your, if you factor out luck, like what you should be. And some people are like, they're hitting over only here, but they should be hitting like way up here. And honestly, it felt like that this season. It felt like I was actually playing. I actually felt like I played quite well this season. Honestly, not that I've gotten better, but I felt like I was on more often than not when I played. And it just was constantly like I was just getting hard countered, or the game screwed me over. It just felt like my luck was not on my side this season. So I can't even quantify that. I don't even know if partially, maybe it's in my head, because I normally say like, don't blame the algorithm. Like, it's an even distribution, stuff like that. But like, man, it just felt like the game was like, no, this is not happening for you this this is not happening for you this season. So yeah. So kind of a weird one. And I don't think I'm going to change my approach next season. Honestly, like I am going to continue with the memberships and showcasing your videos. Like I honestly get more out of like watching your videos than I do playing my own and showcasing my own videos. And I know people like to see my videos, and I'm going to continue to play. Like this week is almost going to be entirely me beyond the hyping all these new Pokemon. So yeah, send me some Great League teams if you want, but for the most part, I've got to imagine that I'm going to do Beyond the Hype on like 10 Pokemon this week, for sure. But when we come like mid-season, and we're like a month in, and it's April, and I'm seeing the sun for the first time. Not sun, but like I'm seeing like positive temperature outside for the first time in like 6 months. Yeah, I'm not gonna be playing GBL as much. So that's when I like kind of like showcasing your battles, because it like gives me filler, and it just like it's almost more fun. And I never understood it with Because I talked to like Home Slice and Nighttime Clasher, who are both like extremely top strong players. Like always leaderboard, always top leaderboard. Nighttime Clasher is a fantastic battler on the Play Pokemon series, and both of them have always said, even Rise, who plays more, he obviously plays more and wants to be like a top player, but even him, all three of those guys have said, I want to be more of a like a shoutcaster play-by-play announcer than I want to be a battler. And that's almost how I feel. Like I almost want to be more of the teacher and like going through your battles and teaching you, as opposed to like showcasing my battles and trying to show like how strong I am and the teams I am. So like you're still going to get the mix for sure, because I'm still going to play a good amount. But yeah, I enjoy watching your battles. I enjoy, even though I'm my man and I feel like I get a little more gray hair and lose a little sleep every time I watch your battles. I feel like it's actually like more fun. I get more enjoyment out of that than I do playing the battles myself. So keep those battles coming. Like I said, members of the channel get priority, so anyone can submit. But if I have 15 submissions and 5 are members, those 5 members will go first, and then I'll pick the other out of the other 10 sort of after for the next ones. And the one thing that I did not mention that I'll mention right now. The other thing that has changed, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos, is you cannot find a team to grind with for more than 2 days before the meta changes. And that goes back to my first point. The people who are playing now are the strong, super strong people who know how to play the game. So if a top team comes out, either by content creator or someone plays it and it's just kind of copied and played throughout by other people, it basically will people adjust faster. So if you've watched some of my previous seasons, if you've been around this channel for 4 or 5, I started this channel in season 7 maybe. If you watch some of my other seasons, you will see that I had seasons where I could use a team for like 2 weeks straight and dominate with it for 2 weeks straight. Now, I cannot go 2 days before a team like that Drapion, Corsola, or Driflin. Drapion, Corsola, Driflin, and Azumarill team. You cannot go like 2 days before that team gets hard countered, because people pick up on it and adjust accordingly quicker. So it's tough to like find any rhythm, because before you can find a rhythm with a team and learn how to play all the matchups out and like learn how to play matchups out, learn how to do that. But now it's just like, oh, you got that Drapion team, here's 5 grounds on the lead for you in a row. Adjust your team or else you're going to keep losing. So there's a lot more adjustment that needs to happen this season, which makes it difficult to find a rhythm. And again, I'm not even finding a rhythm because I'm not playing enough. So it's like I can't find a rhythm. And when I try and find a rhythm, I can't find a rhythm because the game is adapting too fast. So yeah, it's been a weird season for me. And like I said, like I thought I played like pretty good this season. It's just like between the luck and just everyone getting better, I don't think I'm going to hit the season again. But again, I don't care. If I cared, I would just say, send me your battles Tuesday night so I can do videos for Wednesday with your Pokemon. I want to try and hit Legend on Tuesday. I don't care. Like, I don't care if I hit Legend or not. So that's where we're at with the game. That's where we're at this season. Goals for next season. So again, I'm not going to set a goal to hit Legend next season. I will try, but try in the sense of like, I will play early and often with Beyond the Hype to do Beyond the Hype for the Great League and Ultra League Pokemon in the first couple weeks. I'll probably cut down on my playing significantly end of March through April, and then I'll pick up in May, trying to go hard at the end of the season to hit Legend. and whether I hit it or not at the end of May on my push, I'll be okay with it either way. So yeah, that is where we're at with that. Anyways, that is it. Let's move the Maple Leaf Bug deck because that is bothering me. Okay. Anyways, let me know what you've experienced this season of GBL. Call me out if you think I'm just like whining and just whatever. Although again, I did take some responsibility. There's some responsibilities. I'm just not getting better, and everyone around me is getting better, and they're just the player base is smaller, so they're just stronger now. Like that's on me to try and get better. But I think there was like, it felt like there was other factors this season, and and for those of you who've been around on my channel forever, I never blame other factors for my losses. It's always like go back to my video like 4 seasons ago why I didn't hit legend. Like I listed like 8 things, and 7 of those 8 things are my fault. So I'm usually all for accountability. And again, I will take some accountability that I was just not playing. I know that I just wasn't putting in the time and effort to get better. But man, it felt like a lot of things were out of my control this season, and I cannot explain it. And I do not want to just become like an algorithm conspirator. Like, anyways, that is it. Tomorrow, in the morning, new Great League teams with all these new Pokemon. There's like 10 to 15 new Pokemon, so we'll team build with all of them and showcase those tomorrow morning. And then tomorrow afternoon, there's Willpower Cup. I think it's Willpower. I don't think anyone's going to play it, but we'll do top teams for that in case you do want to play it. Anyways, that is it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the support. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys in the next one.